The room buzzed with an eerie silence, punctuated only by the low hum of the alien gateway. Randall was laying unconscious at my feet, a painful reminder of the high stakes involved. I checked his pulse. It was weak, but steady. I couldn't let him die here. Quickly, I activated my neurocom to send a distress signal to Earth Command, detailing our precarious situation. But the transmission bounced back. Something or someone was jamming our comms. I had no choice but to delve deeper into the lab's systems. Using Randall's keycard, I accessed more encrypted files. As they decrypted, a torrent of information flooded my mind. Detailed schematics of the Obelisk, records of previous interactions with similar artifacts, and messages between higher-ups discussing the risk of activating the gateway. It was called Project Singularity, a clandestine initiative authorized by factions within Earth Command aiming to harness the limitless energy from these ancient constructs. The risks were downplayed in their reports, but the consequences were terrifyingly clear to anyone who looked closely enough. I didn't have much time to process this before another alert flashed on my console. A new surge of energy was detected from the gateway. At that moment, almost as if on cue, Randall groaned and began to stir. His eyes fluttered open, filled with pain but also resolve. "We have to seal it," he rasped. "We can't do this alone," I said urgently. "We need reinforcements." "No time," he replied, pulling himself up with great effort. "There's another way. A manual shutdown switch at the base of the obelisk." "Why didn't you mention this earlier?" "Because it's one way. Whoever activates it won't come back." My stomach churned as his words sunk in. Before I could respond, an alien presence seemed to whisper through my mind again. "Choose wisely." With Randall leaning on me for support, we made our way to the obelisk. Its surface now rippled with incomprehensible symbols that seemed to pulse in time with my own heartbeat. "Get ready," Randall said, his face pale but determined. "This will either save us or doom us all." He handed me a small device, an emergency neural link capable of synchronizing our minds for a brief moment. It would allow me to guide him remotely if anything happened to me. With trembling hands, I placed Randall's keycard into its final slot at the obelisk's base. As expected, it rejected my identity but presented a new interface. It was the manual shutdown sequence. I looked back at Randall one last time, his eyes filled with both fear and hope. "I'll be right here," he promised. Taking a deep breath, I initiated the sequence. The symbols on the obelisk shifted violently as if resisting our efforts, but then began converging towards a central point, growing brighter until everything was engulfed in a blinding light. When my vision cleared, I found myself alone. Not on Mars anymore, but within an ethereal plane where time seemed non-existent and reality fluid.
This is the end of Chapter 2, Echoes of the Ancients, which is from our short storybook, The Hidden Singularity. Chapter 3 will be released soon. If you've enjoyed this story, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you will always be up to date with our new releases.